So, step one, where do you want to put your chicken coop? What you want to do is actually pay attention to where the sun is in your garden, preferably all times of year. And this spot here for us is very sunny, so it actually gets a lot of sun in winter, and it gets even more sun in summer. Spot here is very damp. The floor is almost always damp. We haven't actually had a lot of rain. Always damp. This is a terrible compost pile. That's something that should have put in a bin before I recorded. And these plants here all look totally neglected, because they are, but they like damp and shady conditions. In summertime this spot doesn't get sun. I would not recommend anything damp for chickens. So one of the bummers about the spot that I've used is it is actually too hot for them in summer. I live in Australia, in Canberra, and it's way too hot. Now I've tried to counteract this by growing a really large grapevine up the side, which works really well. I've added this stuff up here to hold the grapevine up, and I've grown a goji berry up as well. I've even put this in for extra shade in summer too. So ideally I would have a spot in my garden that was a fair bit of sun, but also provide shade in summer. Yeah, and that's it for lesson one on where to put your coop. Okay, a small part two of that is, when you think of a chicken, think of something that likes very dry conditions. Yes, they can get wet in the rain, that's fine, but their preferred environment is something dry and dusty. If you have wet and damp areas, you're likely to just welcome in a greater risk of disease, really. So that's the other point to remember. Also, chickens get on much better in the cold than they do in the heat, and that's why I was talking before about putting up appropriate shade in the sunshine for them. They actually have less of an issue with cold than they do with heat, so that's something to keep in mind too. Okay.